Okay, so I wanted to take a minute to talk about the difference between a $2,000 pellet stove and a $1,000 pellet stove. I'm making this video specifically because I just got a $2,000 pellet stove and a $1,000 pellet stove. I really didn't know much going into it about pellet stoves. I thought I got a good deal on this one, and I believe I did. And later in the video, I'll show you the $1,000 pellet stove. This was $21.99 new, and it has a lot of really nice features to it. Some of them being this: the burn pot down there has this where you could shake it down and clean the burn pot out, and then the little heat exchange tubes here. You can pull this out back and forth and clean them off without having to do anything. Also, you can see it's been burning for a few days straight now, but you can see how even the flame is. And this right down here, let me stop this, and I will turn on the flash. Down here, there is a cleanout pot for the ashes, so you can actually open that and that. This will flip down, and there's an ashtray to come out. So those are some you'll see later and the difference. It also has a chamber on each side that holds the ashes can build up on. That also falls down into the ash tray. When it comes to the hopper can hold, I think, almost 2 bags. It can hold well over 1 bag. And this particular stove is digitally controlled, and it's got a bunch of different settings, but it also has a few different features like smart thermostat, where you can hook up a thermostat to this, and it will automatically maintain the temperature in the room. And if it becomes over 70 or whatever you have it set to for over an hour, it'll shut this down. Then it's got a normal thermostat mode, where whenever it goes into idle, it just goes down to heat setting 1, which it's on right now, and maintains heat setting 1. And then it also has manual mode, which we're running right now. But it's got a lot of nice features. This is a single auger design, where it drops the pellets out right behind from up above. You'll see that in 1 second. Should auger. There goes the pellet. It drops the pellet down in. So there's less moving parts. These are some things that I didn't know going into buying a pellet stove. You just don't know about them until you either do some research or have one to see what you like. This has a lot of nice features, but it was $2,100 new. If it's something that we've had this going, it's probably it's in the 40s outside. We've had this going in an 800 square foot cabin. It's heating the whole thing single-handedly. 800 square feet for 2 days, and it has kept the temperature in mid 70s, 75, all by itself. Now, this next pellet stove I'll show you is $1,000 cheaper than this one, and this automatic has an automatic light feature too. So when the smart thermostat turns it off, whenever it calls for heat, it'll automatically reignite it and get the fire going again. The same with whenever you shut it off and turn it back on, it'll automatically start itself. It takes about a minute and a half to do that. And this door actually has some sort of switch on it somewhere where it won't let you have the door open. Just safety features. It's got a lot of safety features built in. So you'll see the next one here shortly, and you'll see the difference that $1,000 and quality buys. This one opens on the sides. You have full access to both sides with just two quick turn screws. So this is my $1,000, which was $1,000 new. I didn't pay that for it, but this is my $1,000 pellet stove. At home, I have in my garage, and I showed you what the little over $2,000 pellet stove had as far as options on it, and I'm going to show you what this one doesn't have. This is very basic. I don't know, you could see in there it's augering out some pellets, and you could see right down in there to the sides. That's where the ash trap is, and it just blows ashes into there, and then you have to scoop it out with a small shovel or something. I don't know. I haven't shoveled it out yet. I've only used it once. And this is here's another thing. I have had this on for about 3 minutes. The igniter works, but it's real slow to get a fire going. I've had probably 3 fires going in this, and it just takes a while. It builds up a whole bunch of pellets before it actually turns on. With the St. Croix pellet stove, you have a fire in like 30 or 40 seconds. And you saw how it feeds. It drops pellets from above. This one augers pellets out. So when it does have a fire, and I'll show you this later, it maintains a sizable fire over on this one side only, because it augers the pellets out, and they push to that side, unlike right now how it's pushing them all out. Now, I might have a problem with the igniter on this, but it did start 3 fires already. So I don't know, but it has started several fires, but it just takes a while, and I don't understand it. Then on this, the control panel is in a really weird spot. So you know, for my installation, I don't have a whole lot of space here in where I put it in the garage, but so I have to reach back in there. So it's super basic. If you want to do anything to it, you basically have to pull it out away from the wall. The back panel comes off, and that's the only access to it. Everything's tucked up inside, which is not that big of a deal. But on the St. Croix, both side panels open up, so you don't have to move it if it's in a corner installation or an installation where you have some room on either side. You could still access all of the electronics. The hopper on this is smaller than the St. Croix. This is all around just a cheaper stove. I don't think it has. It's got 2 augers instead of 1 auger. That's more to worry about. And I'm not positive, but I don't think it has as many safety. Like if I have the front door on the St. Croix open, it'll shut it off because it senses that there's a different value as far as pressurization value in the Firebox, so it will shut it off automatically. This, I don't believe that happens. I could be wrong. I'm gonna have to do some testing on that, but yeah, it's perfect for where I have it, and I got it, like I said, I got it for $250, so a great deal. I did paint it. It didn't look anything like this. It was the last people had used it a lot. It was a lot more beat up than this, but I figured since I had it in the back of my truck, I painted it up first. I'll show you the Firebox. This is a Englander pellet stove. You can see all the info there. So, I mean, it's not bad by any means, but there is a difference between the $2,000 stove and a $1,000 stove. So I hope this gives you some, well, you know what I'm going to go over. Also, if you're worried about the installation for the piping and everything, every instruction manual will tell you what you need to do. This stove has different instructions on correct pipe to go out the wall and up the wall than the St. Croix does. So if that is what is worrying you, don't worry about it, because it'll tell you what to do in the instruction manual, and to make it appropriate for your stove. So I hope this video watches you. I hope it answers a couple questions you have that I had these questions going into it, buying my first pellet stove, and I didn't find a whole lot of information on why spend the extra money, what what you're going to get from the difference from $1,000 to a $2,000 stove. I hope this answers a couple of your questions. If it does, please hit the subscribe button. Follow my videos. It really helps me out, and I appreciate it. Thanks for watching.